Hey guys, last video for today, and the three videos that I've shown you have basically gone through sections 1, 2, and 3 from chapter 13, IDs and SQs. So tomorrow we'll hit populism, we'll end with segregation and discrimination on Wednesday, and then we'll wrap up, we'll get your quiz done, and we'll be ready to roll on. Whoops, sorry. Hold on, I lost it. There we go. Okay. All right. So going through that first page, it's actually, I think, more of the first page of notes talking about immigration. A couple of big things to remember on this is to know the difference between what we call new and old immigration. So new immigration is talking about individuals coming through Southern and Eastern Europe. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Southern and Eastern Europe. But old immigration is talking about Northern and Western Europe. So old immigration is people coming in from England, Ireland, Scotland, Germany, Spain. New immigration from Southern and Eastern Europe is talking about Russia and Czechoslovakia and Italy and Greece, kind of that lower portion of Europe. So a change in the individuals that are coming over. It also talks about nativism, what nativism is, and we actually talked about that definition last week on Thursday. That nativism is talking about if you are native born, you were born and raised here in the United States, that you believe that you have more, what's the word for it? You believe that you deserve more and should have more than anybody that is new coming into the United States. That immigrants are taking away jobs and that they are keeping pay low and overcrowding our cities. So we have people that are still nativists today, and that actually is your bell ringer question for Monday. So anyway, nativism is very much up and alive today. We've got the Chinese Exclusion Act, which stops Chinese immigrants from coming into the United States for 10 years. It's also nicknamed the Gentleman's Agreement between us and Japan. It was another way for us to just kind of work out one of many business deals because it's all about trade, all about making that money right now. All right, so how would immigrants coming in, they're coming in through by boat. It's probably a 3, 4, maybe even 6-month trip, depending on where it is they're coming from, but usually a couple of months on board. Most lower class Americans are in the steerage at the bottom of the boat, so it's not comfortable. You don't really have much of an opportunity to go up and get some fresh air. So if you get seasick, it's a pretty terrible journey. Once you make it into the United States, you don't get to just go straight in. You actually have to stop. If you're coming in through the East Coast, you're going to stop at Ellis Island, little island off the coast, right there near the Statue of Liberty. So Ellis Island is here. It's an immigrant processing station, and they're going to come in, they're going to check in. It's pretty much like going through the airport today. They're going to check your luggage. They're going to make you be checked, and we're checking you for illnesses. We're going to check paperwork. So you have to be processed and make sure that you make it through this processing part to get back on the boat to go back into New York Harbor. If you are an Asian immigrant coming in from China or Japan or Indonesia, you're going to come in through Angel Island. That's going to be on the West Coast. So life in these big cities is hard, it's crowded, it's dirty, it's nasty, a lot of disease going around. They are overcrowded. We don't really have technology as far as our police and fire departments up and going quite yet. So crime rates are up. They're really, really dangerous. We're starting to establish the very beginning of what we call the rogue gallery, to where we have mugshots of criminals that have been caught, and we're starting to take these copies and share them all around the United States, along with any alias, other names that they might go by, to start crunching down on these criminals. as people get tired of being farmers out in the Great Plains, they give up. They come back on the East Coast. They get a job working in a factory, because as long as they show up every day, it's a guaranteed paycheck. There's more opportunities, more entertainment, more shopping experiences in the big cities. So a lot of them are coming over, but they can only afford this lower class housing, these tenement apartments, which is actually an ID definition. So tenement apartments are these cheap, quickly built apartment buildings that could probably easily collapse if you threw something at them, because there's no building codes and inspections and things that are happening during this time period. So that's what we call the have-nots, are living in these cramped, poorly built apartment buildings. But your haves, right, your upper class Americans are living in these penthouse apartments in the upper East Side. They don't even know how bad the living conditions are in these apartments. Um, until somebody comes along to point it out to them. And Jacob Reese, who is a photojournalist, is actually going to point it out to them, so that some money will be spent in helping these individuals. We got to work on setting up clean water. We got to work on trash pickup. We got to work on establishing our police and fire departments. We got to start working on cleaning things up so that we don't have overpollution and disease spreading rampant. And if you take a look at some of those pictures, like kids out playing in the streets where dead horses and all kinds of both human and animal excrements are, you can imagine how dirty and nasty and stinky, and how rough these cities really are before we start cleaning them up. So we have people to thank for this new movement called the social gospel, to where we're trying to help those that are less fortunate. We got Jacob Reese, again, who's a photojournalist. We got Jane Addams, who starts up Hull House, which is the first settlement house helping homeless women and children, first social worker, really. She starts up Hull House in Chicago. We've got the Salvation Army that starts up. We've got the YMCA that starts up, so Young Christian Men's Association, to help homeless men have somewhere to stay, get a job, get a meal, get themselves cleaned up, and give these people a chance to start bettering their lives. So that's kind of the opposite of social Darwinism, right? Social Darwinism is, if you're not a millionaire, it's because you haven't worked hard and you haven't earned it. But social gospel is, let's help everyone who needs it, no matter what the circumstance is, right? So make sure that you're studying all your vocab and IDs, and that's it for this unit.